June 27, 1976, Air France Flight 139 takes off from Athens, heading to Paris. But minutes into the flight, 4 hijackers seize control. The plane is violently diverted from its standard route, carrying 248 passengers and 12 crew members into unknown territory. The hijackers force the pilots to land in Entebbe, Uganda. Waiting for them on the ground is Idi Amin, the host country's dictator, who owed terrorists safe haven and military backing. Inside the old terminal building, the situation escalates. The captors make a chilling decision. They separate the Jewish and Israeli hostages from the rest of the passengers. By isolating passengers based on identity, the hijackers shifted the stakes. With a 48-hour deadline and a threat to kill those remaining if their demands weren't met, the terminal became the site of a potential mass execution. Back in Jerusalem, the Israeli government faces an agonizing deadlock. Some leaders argue for negotiating with the terrorists to save civilian lives immediately. Others argue that conceding to hijackers guarantees future attacks, pushing instead for a military strike. The military option looks nearly suicidal. Entebbe sits over 4,000 kilometers away from Tel Aviv. A rescue force would have to fly across an entire continent, navigating through the airspace of multiple hostile nations just to reach the target. Selecting the military option required specific engineering solutions for these logistical barriers. They had to find a way to move a heavily armed assault team across the globe without triggering a single alarm. Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, goes to work. They scour public records and interview released non-Jewish hostages to build a precise mental map of the terminal, pinning down the exact number of terrorists and the positioning of the Ugandan guards. The military then takes this data and builds a 1-to-1 scale physical replica of the Ugandan airport terminal right in the middle of the desert. The assault teams run the drill over and over. They map every footstep, choreographing the exact timing needed to breach the doors and secure the hostages, proving on paper and in practice that the rescue window is achievable. The obsessive intelligence gathering and physical rehearsal replaced uncertainty with data. Every corner and every second of the assault was now a known variable, allowing for a path through the terminal that prioritized speed and precision. To move the rescue force and their heavy equipment, the military relies on 4 massive C-130 Hercules transport planes. Flying undetected is the biggest hurdle. The pilots execute a dangerous flight profile, skimming just 30 meters above the Red Sea to fly underneath enemy radar networks. Deep inside the lead plane's cargo hold sits a specific piece of equipment for their ground approach, a black Mercedes. The commandos know Idi Amin drives a nearly identical vehicle. By driving out of the plane in a replica of the dictator's car, they plan to trick the Ugandan perimeter guards into lowering their weapons. Combining the mechanical precision of the low-altitude flight with the psychological manipulation of the decoy vehicle secured the operation's most vital asset: absolute surprise. At 11 p.m., the planes touch down in Entebbe. The ramps drop, and the commandos hit the tarmac under the cover of darkness. The primary assault team drives straight to the terminal and breaches the building. In exactly 1 minute and 40 seconds, they neutralize all the hijackers. While the rescue happens, a secondary team executes a critical defense maneuver. They destroy a fleet of parked Ugandan fighter jets on the adjacent runway, ensuring no one can pursue them once they take off. Strict compartmentalization allows a small, heavily outnumbered force to dominate a larger military presence. Within 90 minutes of landing, the entire operation is complete. Over 100 hostages are safely secured, loaded onto the idling Hercules aircraft, and flown out of Africa alive. But this overwhelming tactical success comes with a devastating operational loss. During the initial firefight outside the terminal, the raid's commander, Lieutenant Colonel Yoni Netanyahu, is fatally shot. His death highlights a grim reality. Even the most perfectly engineered strategy cannot entirely erase the chaotic and fatal nature of combat. The international fallout is immediately polarized. At the United Nations, some countries condemn the raid as a severe violation of Uganda's national sovereignty, while others praise the sheer bravery of the rescue. Entebbe demonstrated that a long-range military rescue was a feasible alternative to diplomatic concession. It provided governments with a tactical precedent for intervening in high-stakes hijackings. The mission established a new standard for special operations. It proved that specific engineering and military precision could dismantle even the most complex logistical barriers.